Happy Sunday Fun Day. Well, I moved into a town with no one around to get away from the snow. If you love what the Hales, type what the Hales. You love what the Hales, type what the Hales. If you love what the Hales and you love our whatnot sales. If you love what the Hales, type what the Hales. We should do it like monsters. No, let's not do it like monsters. Let's do it like fishes. Did we do it like fishes last time? That's my favorite one. You gotta do it like fishies in the chat too. We're all underwater. Type what the coming live from all around the planet. You are odd. And right there. All right. What a week in Otter Creek. And it just so happens that there are quite a few animals that need some rescuing. And so tonight, what we're going to do, okay? Look at this. Do you guys know what this is? You know what this is, right? That's a baby monkey, a marsupial, a finger monkey. And there's only one left, and it's in our whatnot. Do you know what this is? You see what that is right there, right? Look at that. That's an escapee who needs rescued, needs to be adopted. There is many animals that need to be adopted. So what we're going to do is, and I'm going to ask the moderators to give me a little hand here, is if you would go ahead and put our whatnot link in the chat, okay? If you could do that for me. And what we're going to do tonight is we're going to have a little bit of fun. And these animals, I mean, it's like a zoo over at the Hales Ranch right now. Literally a zoo. They probably know that I have a meeting with a realtor tomorrow morning. And so they probably are thinking, oh my goodness, what in the world is going on? We need adopted. Now they come to us for help in the first place. And then we need you to take them home. So if you guys could actually put our whatnot link in the chat, because I didn't do it beforehand. I'm not even sure I even know how, to be honest. I do know how, but I don't know how to actually pin it. I'm actually going to try that. I'm going to try that right now. I'm going to see if I can actually, okay, I found the live. There may be a little bit of echo, okay? And I'm going to pin that, boom. And then, okay, I'm going to pin that. I think I can pin it. Pin it. Pin message. Okay, Aunt Patty, I think I just pinned yours, okay? And so there are lots and lots and lots of animals in Otter Creek that need rescued and need to be adopted. And so tonight, what we're going to do is focus on those animals. We got the finger monkey in the whatnot. We got this turtle and roughly 180 other animals that you can go and adopt. Deanna, right now. Now's the time, Deanna. Deanna's going to unlock them in our Buy It Now in our store on Whatnot, okay? And first come, first serve. So, for example, we've told many people this already. You get free $15 when you make your first purchase and you're new to the platform on Whatnot. And one of the other cool things that Deanna has up there right now is November. Look at all these cuties. Look at all these cuties. There's the older cuties. There's the younger cuties. And there's the Jive Turkey right there. And so the limited edition glossy photo is in there as well as of right now for everybody to make a purchase. And you will even get a certificate of adoption with your animal's name from the What the Hales Ranch. There's roughly 180 animals there right now that need to be adopted. Now, if you've adopted one already, you might want to give somebody else a chance to adopt one so that they have that opportunity as well and have a ton of fun with it, okay? So thank you so much putting the Whatnot. Flippin' Adventures just said animals are ready for a new home. And speaking of adopting people, I've got some guests that are coming in with me here tonight. Whoa!
Hey, adopt us.
Now, you guys adopted us when we first got to Otter Creek. There's no other way to say it except we got there. Man, I remember the first day even getting there. Do you remember me calling and going, hey, I got a flat tire? I can't believe it. We almost got there. We're on the Florida line, Georgia line, and I got a flat tire.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a flat tire, the whole deal. We got there. And then you guys, I see somebody just asked how Georgia's next doctor appointment is December 23rd. So by all means, continue to keep praying for her, please. Yes. By all means, absolutely. And so, so you guys really took us under your wing as we were coming into a foreign land where the year before we actually took a month or so and we went down each coast and we wrapped around all of Florida and drove it. And then we went, okay, let's do this. Let's do this during the summers, or excuse me, during the winters, because it is like summer, especially right now in Florida. Like Florida weather is crazy right now. It's like 90 degrees again today. But you guys really took us under your wings and you adopted us, and you showed us what hospitality is, generosity is, friendship is, and really can't thank you guys enough for that. Do you remember that first day when we pulled in?
I do. I know George got there first, and we didn't know we didn't know who you guys were. So we were just like, yeah.
She started talking to us in the driveway, I think, and then he was behind her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? This is important to note too. We did not know what YouTube was. We did not.
Not really.
Know. There was one resident in the campground that knew you, and we didn't learn that.
I remember.
Yeah.
And he was messed up too.
Yeah, he's still there, actually.
What, that one?
Johnson?
Oh no, there was others.
Others? Oh, okay.
Yeah, before him.
Yeah.
Remember you had chickens.
Yeah, we had the chickens in the cage waiting to go over. My nose was
bleeding because of the hay.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I do remember that. Wow.
Going back to the flat tire on the Florida-Georgia line, that should have been a sign.
Like, turn around. Turn around. Go the other way. You're gonna get stalked. You're gonna be stressed out. You're not, you're taking turns being in Florida. You're gonna be stressed out. Go the other way.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have just stopped in Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't know. But life has never, ever been the same in Otter Creek. I can tell you that for sure. Life has never been the same since that day. And the very first people that we met were you guys, and you took us under your wing. And we are forever grateful for that. And a lifelong friendship has been established from that. And I'm just thrilled that you guys got out of Otter Creek. I really am.
Me too.
Yeah. We mentioned on our live that we never have a conversation that doesn't somewhere in it have the best thing you ever did was leave Otter Creek. And I was like, man, that must be really something. And
it changed a lot of things. It really did.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, the stress of the environment, the stress of the people, and obviously new people coming in, and you know, it was taking a toll, and does take a toll on everybody and everything. And now you guys are out living your best life in Tennessee.
And going back to the campground days, the people that came in, the nicest ones were the ones from somewhere else. The ones from Florida, they weren't the nicest ones. I'm not saying there weren't some nice ones, but when they were from somewhere else, I even extended more gratitude toward them, wanting to know more about their travels, where they're going, what's up.
Well, usually the local ones that tried to stay there obviously had some.
They're usually kicked out of another campground, or
it was not a good situation.
Florida man. That's a real thing, Florida man.
There are some incredible individuals and residents of Florida. I actually spent time today with one of them. I'm pretty sure isn't Omar Gosh, isn't he a Florida native, or did his family come from Cuba, or I can't remember now. I don't know if Omar's in the chat or not, but at any rate, I was at Omar's all day today, and so Omar texted me earlier this week. He's like, dude, come on out, man. And every time I've been visiting before, he's wanted me to go out to the Tampa Hard Rock because he got permission for filming. And nice. And so he's like, hey, come on out, man. Come on out. Let's have some fun. Let's film together. And we just couldn't do it. But my health has not been the greatest either. So I was supposed to actually fly home this weekend, but my health has not been to the point where I actually can do that comfortably. But I was going out to Omar's today. And I know there are some in the chat because the top tier members got to see exactly what happened today out at Omar's. And so we were out at his place. Brett, do you remember going into Orlando? Remember the bear unit with the giant safe?
Yes.
Okay, what was one of the coolest things we found in there?
What's that?
Do you remember some of the cool things we found in there?
Oh, yeah, all the animals. I loved all the animals. The polar bear and the cinnamon bear, and then all the birds. I think there was several.
So it wasn't the safe? That wasn't
the safe,
because I know you had so much fun moving it.
Well, I mean, he did a lot of the work of that. I mean, I thought he was going to kill himself, but he was.
Look at that!
He was doing a leg press, pushing that thing up the last part of the ramp, and we ended up dropping it on the ramp. I thought that ramp was going to break.
I thought the ramp was going to break.
I can't believe
when I saw the size of that safe, I said, "How did you two do this?"
Yeah,
I still don't know to this day how we did it.
There was there was actually an excavator that was working in the front of that storage unit, and I was trying to go catch them to see if they could maybe help, push it in there with their equipment, but they had already gone. I was like, oh man.
What else?
Thank you, Leslie Hill, for the $1. So that safe was in there. Can you remember anything else that was in that unit?
I remember all the stuffed animals. That's what I liked because we like nature and outdoor stuff. And what else was in there?
I wasn't there.
The safe was in there. I can't recall. I'll remember it when you tell me.
You remember there being a cannon? Do you remember that? The Winchester cannon?
Yeah.
Now that's cool. Yeah. I never saw the cannon.
Yeah, that didn't really, register.
You don't remember the cannon?
That didn't rank. I like the animals.
Oh my goodness!
In the back of my mind, I was wondering if you were going to want those animals. I'm like, man, I'd like one of them animals.
So I've been dying to know, does the cannon work or not? And I had not bought any ammo for it or anything. And there are those in the chat right now who know where I'm going with this. But so Omar, he says, man, come on out. We're all getting together. We're going to have a ton of fun. And so I said, all right, let's do it, man. Let's just go. And they were putting up brand new targets. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to take this. And then I was like, you know what? The guys, we're not going to be able to see if the cannon works, but the guys would love to see this cannon, because how often do you see a mini cannon, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
I've never.
So
we think there was one firing off in Otter Creek there for a while.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I do remember that coming into Otter Creek too. because we were like, George and I were asking you, like, what in the world is going on? Dan, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We'll be continuing to pray for Hudson, Florida, Dan. I remember that, but I haven't heard anything yet since I've been back so far. But I thought, man, this group of guys is going to love this mini cannon. So I brought it just as a piece to say, hey, check this out. This would be, pretty cool. And then the guys were like, what's it take? What's it take? I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. I was like, guys, you don't understand. I had this corrupt judge take away all of my rights, and I never got to fire it off. And I literally just got everything back like days ago. I just got everything back. And so I just got everything back and all my ammo and all my, my firearms and the whole deal. And they were like, it looks like we could put a shotgun shell in there. I'm like, well, let's try it.
Oh, no.
So those of you who got to watch the live stream from Omar Gash's farm today, my buddy Omar, and you got to watch it. If you're in the chat, let Brett and Therese know, does the cannon work or not? Does the cannon work?
We're watching.
That would be so cool to see. Oh, man. I would love that.
Anybody give you an answer yet?
No.
No. Yes. Yeah, yes. We're getting answers now.
So did it shake the ground?
Did it go kaboom?
Okay, so so we set the cannon up and we were like, okay, if we pull it with a string, it could go up and shoot at us, or it could go down and shoot at the ground. And so I have some mini rope, and we roped it up. We actually roped the cannon up to where it would shoot. And then we put a string on the trigger, and we all backed up. And one time the cannon shot, and then it jumped up, and then it turned right towards one of them.
It's like cover,
pointing right at him. He's like this. He's like this. And the cannon's pointing right at him because everybody's filming it. Everybody is filming it. They're like, and it's pointed right at him. It jumped up in the air and landed and pointing right at him. It was one of the coolest. The cannon works. The cannon works.
Wow.
So
sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was a ton of fun. And then, yeah, so everybody was going, oh my goodness, I've never seen this before. This is so cool. And there are those in the chat that actually got to watch the cannon. We did slugs and we did some buckshot, and the cannon works, which is amazing. Now what I've got to figure out how to do, you're a military man. I got to figure out how to sight it in. Any ideas?
On a cannon? I have no idea. I don't think they have sights. I think you just kind of aim it in a general direction and eyeball it and hope for the best.
Well, that cannon seems to have a mind of its own.
Yeah.
Crafty Jen said that cannon has serious kickback. It does.
A cannon typically is a general area target type system. It's not a specific system.
Yeah.
Man, we need a membership.
Yeah. Hey, we need a membership. Somebody gift us a membership.
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding.
So Omar went out and he got new targets, and they were probably half an inch thick, I would say. Wow. And then he's like, hey, Jeremy, come on over. I got this high caliber gun. He's like, see if you can hit the target. And boom, the whole target blew off of the stand.
I bet it did.
So it was fun. It was fun.
How big is the bore
of the cannon?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to come to Otter Creek and see it, and we're gonna have to shoot it.
All right.
Yay!
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Absolutely.
Can we do that? I saw somebody just ask. I saw somebody just ask, are we doing Whatnot tonight? We are adopting animals tonight in Whatnot. You can actually adopt this one right here. Somebody said, are you doing Whatnot tonight? We're adopting animals, rescue animals. I have a meeting with a realtor for the ranch tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Brett and Therese actually hooked me up with the realtor. And so these rescue animals are going to need new homes. And so she's really good.
Yep. I'll shout out to Debbie Drummond. She helped us out with the campground, and she also helped with a couple residents that were in the campground sell some landlocked property that had no access, and she was able to sell that.
Wow.
She's very knowledgeable on the area, so I think she'd be a good asset to your team. Yep.
So she comes out tomorrow. I have a meeting with her at 11. Now, I want to be very
tall. She's about this tall.
Really?
She's about, I don't know. She's
so
short.
Same size as George and as feisty as George as well?
Yeah.
She's short and she's very, yep. She sold a house for you, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll be fun. That'll be fun to meet her tomorrow. So to be clear, this is a direction that we had already put into place beforehand in regards to the ranch. We do not want to be stalked. We do not want to be by stalkers. We do not want to have to film for our own safety. And we want to live a normal life. And so we are okay with letting the ranch 70 plus acres go. We are not selling the schoolhouse. The schoolhouse is on about four acres. And the schoolhouse, that I have no intentions of putting the schoolhouse up for sale whatsoever. It's an incredible facility to work out of, especially for what we do.
Especially, there's a backstory to the schoolhouse. Do you want
what
to share
is it?
The backstory? Like, this was just kind of a backhanded purchase. Like you weren't aware that it was even for sale, and I wasn't aware either until we were going to the Baptist church there in Otter Creek, and they shared that in one of their meetings that they were trying to get that property. But what I didn't know is that they had chances to buy that property for 9 months and just didn't engage. And
I remember that phone call where you. So here's the other thing. If George and I didn't purchase the schoolhouse, then we would have been out of Otter Creek just like you guys. But the schoolhouse is so conducive to the business model. It's incredible. It's incredible for what it does for us. And so with all of the garbage, literally and figuratively, that we've had to endure and be stressed through and put through and across the street, and we would have been out. We would have just been like, there's better places and we can do this somewhere else. But this building makes a world of difference. And so the 70 acres, when we're over here all the time, all day, most of the night, we're really working and living somewhat out of the schoolhouse, even though the house is just for sleeping. So I've shared this before. I know you guys know, but we looked at that was a 9-acre island, I think. Deanna, that was a Flippin' Adventures. That was a 9-acre island, right? And they were asking $400,000 for that 9-acre island. And so we looked at that. So we went, well, we'll just sell the 70 acres and we'll get 500 plus thousand, and then we'll get the island for 400,000, and no one can stalk us, and we won't have to put up with any of this type of stuff. But it wasn't conducive going back and forth.
Yeah, the access was difficult.
And then we looked at another piece of property. It went up for sale, estate, and it had 3 houses on it. So George and I could stay in one, Deanna could stay in another, and there would be a guest house for anybody who could come in, and we could have security. And that was one of the reasons why I came down during the summer, was to go look at that, because somebody put an offer in and it was going to sell. And then the realtor reached back out to me and said, no, it's back up for sale. And then I said, okay, well, I need an official survey. And he went, okay, the attorney approved it. We're waiting for the survey. Somebody else then came in and went, hey, I'll give you full asking price. No survey. Let's just do it. And so what I told George and Deanna was, well, I guess God said no to that. And that's what he did. He said no to that. He said no to that.
And that's over in Citrus County too, right?
Not that one.
Not that one. Not that one. That one would have worked well, but it didn't happen. So it's not as if this hasn't been the plan of wanting to get away after being stalked, which is never okay. We have been proactively trying to get away from the garbage. I mean, and the same goes true. You guys remember Mike Davis? Mike Davis is parking on the schoolhouse property, and Mike Davis stopped. He stopped. So, have you ever seen another video with Mike Davis? Nope. Okay. No more stealing in my water bill. So, have you seen another water bill video after that?
Nope.
Okay.
Also, Michael's another example.
Michael. So here's the great thing. Michael came to me, said, "Can we talk man to man?" This was in the beginning, and there was a major issue as they took about 4 acres and turned it into a dump. And he came to me and he said, "Listen, I don't ever want to be on a video again." And I said, "I'll make a deal with you. Never give me a reason to put you on a video again, and there's no reason to put you on a video." And guess what he's done? He has kept his word. And guess what I've done? I have kept my word. And when I got back, and here's the crazy thing. When I got back, I saw Michael out front of his place, and I stopped and I said hi. And then Michael came over to my place, and I was trying to work on part of the gate. And Michael and I are friends. Text each other, make sure everybody's okay. He kept his word. I kept my word. And so there's another example of doing it right.
And he's an old Tom Otter Creek resident too. And you had to kind of work with him and convince him, because I wasn't really on the same page with him when we first got there. But later on, I think he loaned a chain, and then he got his chain back, and he was okay.
You can talk to him, and he recognizes.
Right. Now,
it's really pretty simple. You just do the right stuff. And
after you became mayor and we were running parcels for the post office, we met him at the Circle K. We just happened to be gassing up the vehicles, and we talked for a little bit, and it was great. And he actually was on board with, "Man, what you're trying to do with the town, that's awesome. We need the people of the town like him to get involved, though. Yeah. They got to show up to the meetings and give us your input."
Yeah.
And that part he didn't do. And, with many others, but we would have loved to if the town had just rallied around Madam Mayor and given her the full on 100% chance, the Otter Creek would already be a changed place.
It was at least good to see one person come to their senses.
I mean, it's still heading in that direction, and we're hopeful, but it could have already happened.
That would have been nice. I saw somebody asking, "Is Flippin' Adventure staying?" Flippin' Adventure is on a separate piece of property. She's on the schoolhouse property. So there's a home and the schoolhouse on this property, the 4 acres. We are not, let me repeat, before everybody puts, this is the crazy thing with rumors. All right. You get why I don't even understand why some people listen to these rumors. I mean, you got people out there saying ridiculous things, whether it be documents that are ridiculous, saying, "Well, this is a forensic handwriting," or whether it be screenshots, and it's all garbage. Yes. So why even buy into the rumors? So don't start rumors. We are not selling the schoolhouse property where Flippin' Adventures lives and works.
And if people have questions, why don't they go to the source and ask?
Yeah.
How do they know that we won't answer the question? They don't. They'd rather make it up. Ask us. We got nothing to hide. We'll tell you the answer. Maybe they don't want to hear the answer.
Yeah. So the 70 acres, this has already been part of the plan, and we've been looking at this for well over a year. Get away so we don't have to film for our protection and our safety, and we don't have to tolerate garbage. Now, that's obviously going to be difficult to sell with such garbage across the street, but here's what would be really funny. If all of a sudden they're going, "Man, I wish we had those YouTubers back," with who knows who's going to buy, who knows who I'm going to sell it to. Who knows?
Should be interesting.
Yeah.
Who knows? And then all of a sudden,
it works for Michelle.
They'll be like, "We want the YouTubers back."
Because you're really close. You got a couple of things of interest on that property. You got the tower.
Cell tower.
You're really close also to the substation.
Yep.
I don't know how that would be helpful, but
maybe. That substation is right across from my driveway. Well, diagonal. But many people may not know this. That substation is the center of Levy County. And so Otter Creek is the center of Levy County.
Yep.
Otter Creek is where everything used to happen.
And what I like about that property is you can like go back and hide. So whereas when we were in Shady Oaks, we're like front and center, you could kind of go back there and disappear. So it's nice for somebody that just wants to get away.
We often thought that it would have been nice to put the house in the back, but you know, you can't really manage the property from the back. You can't see.
Yeah. Shady Oaks, yeah.
And in that town, you absolutely have to watch who's coming and going.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, thankfully, I've got everything fenced and gated and all of that. And I think that'll speak volumes. But even with all the hurricane stuff, I have yet to even get on any of the trails to see any of the damage. I still have the gator over here. So you guys remember Brian, right? Grandma Gail's grandson, Brian.
Yeah, of course.
So Brian went and got married and is living in California now. Which is
that blew my mind. I couldn't believe that.
Yep. Brian's all grown up, married in California. To go from golf hammock to California.
That's quite a change.
Now he's probably thinking, how do I get out of California?
So, well, actually, Grandma Gail, Crystal, Destiny, they were all visiting earlier this week. And I said, so is he ready to come back home to Florida yet? And they were like, nope, he loves it. He loves being out of Florida. That's
great.
Isn't that something?
It's awesome. He's such a good kid.
Usually it's California, they're moving to Florida.
Yep.
Or Texas.
So he loves it, but his younger brother Eric, he messaged and he said, "Hey, do you guys need help with anything?" So he messaged George and said, "Do you need help with anything?" And then George let me know, and then I contacted Eric and I was like, "Hey, actually, I very limited. I can't do what I did with Brian, but very limited, you know, storm cleanup and the hurricanes." So Eric was out here last week, and it was perfect timing. So we got all the downed trees out on the road for FDOT. And that same day, Eric came to work and I went, here's the gator, and just drive up and down all the property and pick up every branch. I got all the big trees, but now take the gator, load it up, and then put it all in this huge pile. That same day, FDOT came and picked everything up 2 times. Because Eric kept taking branches out, and then they didn't come back that night, and there was still a huge pile of branches that Eric put out, and we were like, well, I guess they're not coming back for that. The next day, they came back and took it all.
That's something I'd like to give kudos to is Central Florida Electric Co-op. They are phenomenal. They are on it. If your power goes out, it's usually something substantial, normally a tree down on a power line. They'll get that thing up like that. They dispatch people in the rain, blowing wind. They don't care. They get it done. And they also dispatch people to neighboring states too. They send people to Georgia and Alabama if they need help. So I think they've done a phenomenal job. Denny George and the crew.
Denny George is amazing. He's a good guy.
He is.
He really is. I can't believe all the things he does. He multitasks. He is just phenomenal.
I do. I miss him at the business owners meetings we used to go to.
The chamber meetings.
And chief. Yeah.
He's something else. And why we're saying Denny George and telling people how good he is. Can you tell the people what his position is, what he does here in Florida?
I believe he's the CEO of Central Florida Electric Co-op.
I forget his exact
title. And he's also,
title.
I forget his exact title, but he's like the 1 or 2 guy in that company, and they're big. It's part of a subsidiary of Duke. They're related to Duke Energy. They buy energy and they sell energy, but they're good at that stuff. I've asked him questions off on the side about campgrounds and power and permitting, and he's
a wealth of knowledge. He also helps with some great charities and does charitable things. He's got his hands in a lot of things.
And he's a God-fearing man too, so he's good. He's good people.
Yeah, loves the Lord. And here's the thing, in his position as high up as he is, he even called me personally, he got my number. He's like, "Hey, do you need me to put a light out there at the schoolhouse for you?" He's like, "We'll do it. We'll plant a pole. We'll put a light up for you." And I went, "Well, No, I don't think so, not yet, but I'll let you know. He called me personally and asked
That's
me.
that's the kind
How
of guy he
amazing
is.
is that?
Yeah.
He's
How
awesome.
amazing.
We had some email dialogues about some stuff.
I
but
mean,
yeah,
there's some good people around that area,
there
but
is.
they're small.
They're
Like,
outnumbered. Yeah, they're outnumbered.
not enough.
And a lot of the good people don't want to. They don't want to mince words with certain legislators and county people. You know, they don't want to mince words, but they'll
Yeah.
tell you off camera that he's garbage. Support him. Yeah.
Well, speaking of good people, there were a lot of good people last year that showed up for Christmas in the Creek, and you two were ones that put in a tremendous amount of volunteer hours. So, what's the plan? Are you coming back?
Yes.
I couldn't even ask her.
Hashtag baby.
We wouldn't miss it.
Now, are you going to be shopping again?
So that's a really good question. I've got to still meet. So as of right now, I'll get you up to speed on what the plan is. I'll get you up to speed and everybody else up to speed. So as of right now, I've had conversations with Belinda and conversations with Zim. So Zim's the mayor, Belinda's the town clerk. And my desire is to say we loved Christmas in the Creek, but Christmas in the Creek is bigger than what the Hales. 25%, if not more, of the volunteers were Otter Creek residents. Otter Creek needs to take Christmas in the Creek, and we'll be there as support, and we'll let everybody know that it's happening, and we'll try and do our best to have volunteers. But Christmas in the Creek needs to be handed off to Otter Creek, and Otter Creek be known for Christmas in the Creek, not what the Hale's known for Christmas in the Creek. So with that desire, and with the hurricanes coming in, and they had to postpone the train festival, it just made all the sense in the world to line it up with Christmas in the Creek, which is December 14th, and go, well, the train festival is Christmas in the Creek. Christmas in the Creek is the train festival. And this is a good handoff for Otter Creek to actually take this under their wing and be a blessing to the county. And so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we'll help any way we can. We were parking cars in the rain last year. Hopefully it's not raining.
Oh my goodness. That rain was crazy, but everybody was so happy.
I know. I
fun.
couldn't believe with all that rain and sloshing around how great it went, and there was no hiccups. It was amazing.
Yeah. And all the kids in the cars were so excited.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. Hopefully Deputy Duncan doesn't show up and quench all the Christmas spirit again.
The parents and drivers couldn't keep the kids quiet. They were climbing up to the front window.
Everywhere. Thank you, Michelle, for the prayers for George. And I encourage everybody to continue to pray for George.
Yeah, prayers for George, absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I've got to sit down. Deanna and I have got to sit down with Zim and Belinda, and we've got to figure out, exactly where it's going to be, which they already have a plan. Gina's already saying, I'm excited. I can't wait to get to Christmas in the Creek. We need that Christmas spirit. We want it. We absolutely want it. And so Zim has been building over there. And he said, well, what if we do Christmas in the Creek? What if we have Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus and all of the gifts inside the big barn that he made? And I went, that's perfect, because it doesn't make any sense to have the festival over on that part of town, but then they got to go on this other part of town to go see Santa and Mrs. Claus. And what does that do to your vendors? That doesn't help your vendors in the festival. Everything needs to be centralized. And so as of right now, that looks like that's going to be the plan, using and utilizing that building. And then we're going to sit down and go, okay, how is this going to work?
I've seen that building, but it's not as big as, I don't think it's going to house all the stuff you have over there.
Probably not. The one conversation that we had was, we started the conversation with, we are going to rent a tent. And now it looks like it's going to the building.
I've heard those tents are very expensive. I wouldn't do it.
So
We'll find something else.
Yeah, we'll find something else. So I think the big thing for Christmas in the Creek is preparation. So I still got to sit down with Zim and Belinda this week and talk about, all right, how's this going to work? Traffic flow, kids coming in. How many elves do we need to help guide and direct and to work with the kids so that we can let the rest of the What the Hales community know and figure that out, you know, all the details of it. Because as you can see all these packages back here?
Yeah.
Christmas in the Creek has already started.
Wow.
Well started.
Bless those people giving the gifts already.
And we have all the surplus from last year. So when you asked, hey, are you going shopping? We have all the surplus from last year, which I swear it seemed like God just kept multiplying and multiplying.
I know.
You almost bought out
you
Five
had
Below.
people after the fact coming and taking more and more, and I'm like, but it doesn't look like anything's gone. Like
Anna Marie Harmony, thank you so much for the super sticker. Well, I don't remember who came to me first. Maybe it was Travis. What you doing, Willis? It was like, we gotta stop. We can't give out all these toys. We're gonna run out. And I was like, okay, let me go check. And I went in there. I was like, it doesn't even look like we gave anything away. It's like God just multiplying this like the fish and the loaves.
Yeah.
Did you ever figure out if Haley came through the line or not?
Oh, I don't know. We saw.
He could have, and there's so
much
going on.
We don't know, but we know we do have text. We have text that, for other things that we did, like dollar sales, that she was trying to get people to come and get things that she saw in our videos. But I mean, that's phenomenal. That's fantastic. Yeah. It's great. She should not be penalized based on what those two have done.
I'd love to have seen Harley there. I'd recognize. I'd have been like, Harley.
Those two have consequences based on the criminal and the illegal activity of what they've done. She does not.
Right.
So
that girl just starves for attention. I mean, she wants to hug and love and just be out where you are.
Yeah. Yeah. So Zim was telling me, he was talking to people, and he goes, how many do you think you had there last year? I said, I think we had a couple thousand. I don't remember everything. There was just people lined up everywhere. He goes, okay, because I'm telling vendors right now to potentially prepare for 5,000. I went, well, I do think it's going to get bigger.
That's not a bad number. Yeah.
We said 2024, we want more. And so if you're adding more activities and more vending and food and restrooms and 5,000 people there is not that far off.
No.
Hey,
it's going to be big with everything combined.
We're going to challenge Zim's new septic system.
Oh my goodness. That's right. Because the bathrooms will probably be tied into it.
Yeah. If he gets
What was your favorite memories from both of you from last year's Christmas in the Creek?
The number of excited kids coming through the line, and the rain didn't seem to matter. People were standing 200 deep in line in the rain and didn't care.
We never really did get to see what was happening on the inside.
I snuck off inside.
So I didn't, because I was like, I'm not leaving my post. Right. I do not want any injuries. So I did not leave my post. But I said, we missed all these little kids and all that good stuff, but I just love seeing them outside. I got to talk to a lot of people going in, and just knowing that nobody got hurt and there was no accidents because it was so sloshy, that made my day.
And then Belinda and her husband playing Claus and Mr. Claus.
Too cute.
They got to see all those faces light up. That was amazing.
They're perfect for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably the defining moment of being on YouTube was Christmas in the Creek. Like there are so many incredible memories, but
it's love overload.
Yeah. How do you beat that? And we were running around outside, coming in through side doors, trying to get through the lines, just trying to get to different places and see what's going on. So it'd be interesting adding that with the festival this year for sure.
Are they still going to have all the characters, Elf on the Shelf, and
we got to have that meeting, Deanna and I. So Deanna will be back So Deanna's off today and tomorrow, and then she'll be back late tomorrow night. And then we got to figure out what day we're meeting with Belinda and Zim, and we got to figure out traffic flow and volunteers and who's going to go where. And probably the biggest thing is we have so many gifts already and so many more are coming in already. And by all means, we invite you to be a part of this incredible Christmas season in Otter Creek.
And that's part of why we picked Tennessee, because I had been stationed at Fort Campbell. So West Tennessee, I was familiar with. Land Between the Lakes, Lake Barkley, Kentucky Lake. It's a nice area, but I wanted more. And then I discovered that there's an Arnold Air Force Base here. It's like 19 minutes to get over to the fitness center, the PX, the commissary. I mean, it was amazing. So, Tennessee's been a blessing for us, and we picked this location.
What's that got to do with Christmas in the
I'm
Creek?
tying it.
Okay.
Hold on.
He's getting there. Getting there.
So the general area of South Central Tennessee appealed to us with the proximity to Florida. So we could get to Christmas in the Creek, and then my stepmother lives down there. So we still have ties to Florida. So we wanted it not be too far. We didn't take off to California or something. So we wanted to stay, central.
So you wanted to stay close to Otter Creek?
Close, but not Otter Creek. That area of Florida, we'll say, not Otter Creek.
He wanted to be a day's drive away, to be able to do
Yes.
the drive in a day if he needs to.
Yes. There you go.
Is it Bubba Q's?
Bubba Keys, baby.
Is it ABC Pizza?
Hey, both of them.
Man,
How do you say no?
I've not been to either or. I don't know if you can tell, but in less than 2 weeks, I've dropped 20 pounds. 20 pounds.
Yeah, I've
And
seen all the sweating you're doing down there.
oh my goodness. It's so hot in November.
It's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
She said there's only 2 good months in Florida. That's
January
January
and
and
February.
That's
Pretty
it.
much.
10
Pretty
months of misery, 2 months of nice.
Well, when we come down there for Christmas in the Creek, you better be prepared to go get some ABC and Bubba Q's.
So I still haven't been out there yet. Snarkasm says, "Are you keeping the parcel with the cell tower?" Well, that's what Brett keeps telling me to do. Parcel it off and keep the cell tower, which there is potential of that if I want to do that. But we'll see once I have my meetings where I'm headed and where I'm going with that. But I haven't been to Barbecues yet. Haven't been to ABC Pizza yet. And Flippin' Adventures, even though she's in the chat right now and saying yes to ABC, except I can't get her to go and eat. And so I think she's losing as much weight as I am.
No.
Well, when I'm there, I'm breaking my diet, and we all gonna go there.
Well, just be careful. Like today, typically when this happens, that stress is a killer. It's the silent killer. That's why it's called the silent. And stress is a silent killer. And I know what my body does. I've been through this enough, and I know what ends up happening with my body. And my body does some very, very odd things. And I wish I had control over it. I wish I could stop it. Today, I had my first fall, and I don't mean weather, but I mean literally falling over. And that happens, but the most unusual thing happened afterwards. My left arm was completely and totally numb and completely tingling for 45 minutes. And as if I laid on it like this and I just woke up, that goes away after a couple minutes. It was from the very tips all the way up into the shoulder up here. And I was literally thinking, I cannot believe this. I'm having a heart attack and I'm an hour away from a hospital. What am I doing in Otter Creek?
Yeah, that's a long way. Yeah, you're right.
And
that's a long way from medical services.
So I was supposed to not drive home, but fly home to Ohio this weekend. But things needed to get done, and I didn't feel healthy enough to do it with everything that needed to get done, which adds to stress. And I ended up staying anyway, and then it got really, really, really bad today. Joyce says a pinched nerve. No, this was not a pinched nerve. This is not a pinched nerve. Something definitely, absolutely happen. So I'll go into urgent care tomorrow and be like, hey, but thankfully we have urgent care 15 minutes into Chiefland.
Yeah.
But the nearest hospital is Gainesville, right?
Yeah.
And it's 33 miles, but with traffic and lights, it's more like 45 to 50 minutes.
The heat definitely isn't helping. So what I was doing is working on the chicken coop, because the chicken coop has a tremendous amount of well, it's old, just like me. So if the chicken coop has issues and I have issues, obviously, I mean, I'm almost 50 years old. So many people are like, you don't look 50. I'm almost 50 years old. Like, I'm almost 50. And today I was like, why am I an hour away from a hospital? Which I'm not selling the schoolhouse. Absolutely not selling the schoolhouse.
No,
Again,
having a schoolhouse is definitely a good business plan with the geographic location.
Yeah.
Now, as far as it being in Otter Creek, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But, you really don't care about the town per se. It has nothing to do with your business model.
Yeah, the town has nothing to do with the business model. The business model is all about location, which gets us to every other location. So Tampa and Orlando and Tallahassee and Jacksonville and so it's been phenomenal. We have bought such incredible units because of the location that we're at, that we can have access to. For example, the cannon that you helped me load with the huge safe, that it's been absolutely incredible. And I know Deborah is here in Otter Creek, and she was a nurse. She is a nurse. Once a nurse, always a nurse, right?
Yeah.
But
you don't lose it.
Yeah, you don't lose it. And Deborah volunteers, and she's such a sweetheart. She even this past week, so I brought in a new freezer for the schoolhouse. I brought it from Ohio, and Deborah came in, got it all cleaned up, got everything transitioned and moved over, and it's doing really, really, really well, which is good. And Deborah's just such a sweetheart coming in. First thing she did when she saw me, gave me a huge hug.
Yeah, that's Deborah.
Got me some Deborah loving.
Yeah, that's good.
Got me some Deborah loving, and then Belinda has been here a couple days and working on flyers for the festival, and it got me some Belinda loving as well. At one point, I was like, Belinda, I can't hug you. I did not take a shower. I smell so bad, I can't even stand it. And she's like, I don't care. And I'm like, well, I do. I do.
I miss them.
Yeah.
Oh,
they're good
yeah,
people.
Incredible.
Belinda and Doug, good people.
So I think everybody wants to know who won the Civil War of October. Was it the North, Christian and Patience, or the South, George and Deanna? Have you guys been watching these Whatnot auctions?
Some of them.
Yeah, hit and miss.
Oh my goodness, we've been having so much fun. They're a blast. I was telling Omar about them today, and I'm like, Omar, you got to get on, man. You got to get on. And so he's like, give me your link. I'll get on. And so I was showing Omar, I'm like, dude, he goes, I got nothing to sell. I was like, well, go buy stuff to sell. It's like, go get a storage unit. Go get a storage unit. So we had a Civil War in the month of October. It was the North versus the South. And I got to tell you, the North came out the gate strong, like extremely strong. Christian and Patience were laying it down. But then the South rose again. And
that's kind of how it happened a couple hundred years ago, isn't it?
Yes. So George and Deanna, they came back with a vengeance. And it just kept going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And to the point where I was like, man, I don't know what's going to happen here. But let's see it in the chat. Who thinks, if you think the North won, go ahead in the chat. Let us see the North. Would Tennessee be the North or the South right now?
Technically, Tennessee is part of the South.
And then if you think it was the South, let us know. Was it the South? I see a lot of South. I see tied even. It can't be a tie. That would be almost insane if they actually tied. I don't know how they would do that, but I will tell you it was extremely, extremely close. And the What the Hales team has done an absolutely incredible job. Like, you know, Christian and Patience, George and Deanna, they just did a phenomenal job learning in a brand new app, learning a brand new platform, learning a whole brand new system. And in 2 months, we've been using the system. And our first month, we were just trying to figure it out. And our second month, we went, all right, let's have a little competition. And I will say that I appreciate every single one of them. They have done a great job. We have had a ton of fun, especially in the hurricane when the girls came up and we actually, the South invaded the North, and we had a auction with everybody with Christian and Patience. That was so much fun. But the winner is
Dun, 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 dun.
it was the South. Finally rose again. The South.
Ooh.
Booyah!
Rose again. There
but-
is no doubt, uncontested. The Civil War was won by George and Deanna, the South.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, ladies.
Lots of hard work
Now,
for all of them.
You're very blessed with Christian, Patience, and Baby Pepper. You're blessed with them. They're great.
I miss them too. They're so
Yeah.
cute.
If you could find another dynamic couple like that would work your South region for you,
That'd be amazing.
yeah,
That'd be
good.
amazing. Like, hey, can you guys just duplicate yourselves? Replicate
Right?
yourselves? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
Doppelgangers.
It
Yeah.
would.
And it was a ton of fun selling all this stuff, all these souvenirs and these really memories from the What the Hales videos to all of the fans and the viewers everywhere. And tonight on Whatnot, what we're doing is we are adopting rescue animals who have gone to the What the Hales ranch, and such as this turtle right here. And again, mods have put the link in the chat. You'll get a certificate of adoption, your name, your animal's name, and they are rescue animals. They came to the What the Hales ranch to be rescued from other individuals. But with What the Hales ranch going up for sale, they need new homes. And so if you go to our Whatnot, you can actually find our store. It looks like a storefront with an awning and a circle around it. And they're what we would call our buy it now options in there in the store. And you can also find our new What the Hales glossy limited photo. And here's the coolest thing. Anybody, Brett and Therese, even you will have the opportunity to win $500 in our November 17th Whatnot auction. $500. So a lot of people got to see a lot of Sherry's items, the Disney items.
We saw Sherry the other day. It was good to see her.
Oh, she's such a sweetheart. She is. Oh, yeah. And she volunteered. Many people may not know that a lot of the decorations for Christmas in the Creek, that was Sherry.
Yeah.
That was
Sherry did
Sherry.
a lot.
Such a sweetheart.
We
And
remember
so
her.
there are some absolutely incredible items that Sherry has passed on to us that we're going to have the opportunity to pass on to others. And we're going to be selling a lot of her items during the weeks with all these auctions. But a lot of that Disney item is going to be focused on November 17th. And November 17th, I said it, I've been saying it to the team. I want to give away $500. I literally want to give away $500.
Wow.
And so
Did he freeze up?
there I am. $500.
He was
And we're going to
frozen.
do that for the first time on November 17th. Somebody is going to win a $500 gift card to spend on anything you want. It'll be like a vanilla or a Visa where you can spend it anywhere and do anything. $500 is going to be our
fun.
If we won that, do you think they'd think it was fixed?
yes,
Rigged?
yes, they would. They would say fake, fixed. It's not real.
The last
It's
time
not
I
real.
won something from What the Hales, it was part of a finger.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes.
It was
You know what?
actually my son who won it,
Yeah,
Austin.
We talked to him today.
At half meal time to grill.
Yeah, he won
Oh,
the piece of the finger, but he made me go up there and collect it because he didn't want to go up there.
Wow, so much half meal time to grill. That was another blast. Wow,
It
that
was.
was another blast.
It was so much fun.
So I'm going to encourage everybody out there watching. If you haven't downloaded Whatnot yet from our link and got your free $15, I'm telling you, there's over $75,000 out there unclaimed. You got 30 days to use it.
Well, mine is unclaimed.
Use the free money.
Did you sign up?
I did, I think. Yeah.
Oh,
Use your free money, and we're giving away $500 November 17th. You know, that's one of the things that God has wired me with is financial stewardship and giving. And I love to give, and I love to encourage other people to give appropriately, you know, to the right things. And so $500 is going to be our first giveaway on November 17th. We're going to be selling some of those incredibly cool things. And we're going to be selling a whole lot more this week as well. Tonight, we are not going live on Whatnot. We are doing, and I think Flippin said she's already working on the glossies. We are doing the adoption in the Buy It Now, which you can head on over there. And there are 180 rescue animals that need to be rescued from the What the Hales Ranch because the ranch is going up for sale. Every turtle, every gator, every animal that's out needs a home. Absolutely needs a home. And so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Flippin has the night off, and I got so many other things that I got to continue to work on as well. And so the Buy It Now and the adoptions are tonight on the Whatnot. And with that being said, Brett and Therese, thanks for joining. And
thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate your friendship. I speak for both myself and George. We love you, and we appreciate your friendship. We value you more than you'll probably ever know. And so, thank you guys. Thank you guys. And with that being said, you know what time it is. Mail will be next week. Uh-oh, Gina just said there's 108 animals left to be adopted. We're not going to get to mail tonight. We will get to mail next week for sure. And if you love What the Hales, type What the Hales. If you love What the Hales, type What the Hales. If you love What the Hales and you love our Whatnot sales. If you love What the Hales, type What the Hales. Christian and Patience will be going live on Whatnot tomorrow at 7 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Deanna and I will be going live on Friday and Sunday. And we will get to mail next week. I promise. Don't forget, stay weird, my friends. Stay weird.